David Wolowidnyk has an ongoing passion for food, wine, and cocktails. He is a prize-winning, dedicated mixologist who tastes, experiments, and concocts amazing drinks at West Restaurant in Vancouver. Every Christmas, he leaves South Granville with some ice and spirits to brighten our spirits. It is my pleasure to welcome David Wolowidnyk back to Studio 4 to shake it up some more.
Thanks, Fanny. It's
nice
a pleasure to
see
be
you.
back.
I dropped in to see you last night on my way to White Christmas, and the restaurant was closed.
Yeah, we had a booking to film there last night. So
I was wondering if Robert Redford was inside having a martini or something.
I was thankful to have the evening off, so I
pleasant.
didn't even know what they were filming, to be honest. But
okay, well,
I'm sure it was good.
Hot shot movie, I hope. I was thinking I could get a free drink.
Well, next time you do come up, you can.
I can?
Absolutely.
Free?
As long as I'm working there.
Okay. Don't tell the boss. Well, you are the bar manager, right?
That's right. For the last 7 years, I've had the pleasure of being the bar manager up at West Restaurant. And it's been a great 7 years. We've actually just made some changes to the room, updating it, keeping the look quite fresh. So we were actually closing Sunday and Monday of this week so that we could update the room. If you stand still, you fall behind. So we decided to give the room a little facelift.
Wow, well, I peeked in the window with my friend Mick Star, the rock star. Yeah, we peeked in. That was about it.
this first drink, actually, you see me just pouring this out of the bottle. This one's called Gingerly. I've taken the liberty of mixing this up this morning, right?
Really?
In a batch, just like you would in a big punch bowl. But I've rebottled it. Instead of letting that punch bowl sit with the ice and letting it dilute, put it back in the bottle, put a cap on it. You can get caps like this at any grocery store.
That's a
Once it's in the
good-looking
fridge,
bottle.
now when your guests arrive, then you're ready to just pour them a drink. So I've poured a couple of ounces in here in the shaker. I'm just going to shake it up.
What's in this drink?
What's in this drink? There's 2 ounces of fresh mandarin juice.
Okay.
1.5 ounces of gin. 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lemon juice. There's 1/2 ounce of ginger syrup and 1/2 ounce of jasmine green tea syrup. And I wasn't sure exactly what the volume was going to be there, so I only put in 3 ice cubes to begin with.
Of course, being a perfectionist and all. Add another, but are you telling me all the ingredients are in here?
Already in there.
Now, what happens when you leave it in the fridge for a couple of days? Will it go skunky?
Nope, because the alcohol will preserve it.
Aha, like us.
There you go, just like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've taken a little spoon and I've tasted it with that spoon that I have sitting in vodka to sterilize it. And that drink is for you.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll be going now. You carry on.
We still have a few minutes left, though.
Well,
sir.
Anybody that brings a solid gold martini shaker to the set is welcome.
Well,
that is the coolest martini shaker I've seen in a long time.
Well, I had to, of course, raise the bar.
Can I have a sip?
Absolutely. Okay. I had to raise the bar because you've invited me back a few times, and each time I try and do a little something different that I didn't do the last time, so that you'll continue to invite me back.
Ooh la la, that's good.
So this next one, while you're enjoying that, I'm using a little bit of house-made ginger syrup. Down. This is really simple. This one is actually a take on a dark and stormy, a popular Caribbean cocktail. I'm involving ginger beer and dark rum. Ginger beer is generally it's usually a fermented product where you're taking some ginger, some sugar, and a little bit of citrus or citric acid.
Okay.
And then you're going to ferment that into what one would call a beer.
Is it alcoholic ginger beer? No.
This one, no. This one, instead of fermenting it, what I've done is I've made a ginger syrup. The recipe is going to be up on your website. Really easy to do.
Great.
Basically, it's fresh ginger juice with simple syrup, a little bit of citric acid. That's it. So I've added 1.5 ounces of that to the bottom of the glass. Giving that a little bit of stir with some soda, just a tiny stir. And I've left a little bit of space on the top so I can take a little bit of spiced whiskey.
Spiced whiskey?
Yes. So
is it bourbon? Is it...
Nope. Rye whiskey.
Rye
so I've taken a little bundle. There's some cinnamon stick, vanilla pod, and some nutmeg. A whole nut. I've taken half the nut and I've crushed it up. Really? Now I sit that in the jar for a couple of days, straighten it all out, there you go. Rebottle it.
Okay, and you have to put labels on bottles at your house, because can you see the kids grabbing the orange juice in the morning?
Well, I don't have any kids that I know of yet. So,
okay. We're going like, hey, what a day, Mom. You know,
Now
love that
this
mandarin
looks
juice.
beautiful, Fanny, but
It
in
is
order to
beautiful,
actually give it
yes.
some balance,
Okay.
we call this the northern storm, so I've left the dark up top to kind of give that storm cloud sort of a look.
Yeah.
The same way that a dark and stormy should be served. So I'm just going to mix that up just gently so that it's now time for you to have a little taste.
Of course it is. So I can just storm around. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what you do. So this is in the vodka, so I should probably taste that because the staff will all want a glurg.
Absolutely.
Can't even say it.
And while you have a taste of that, I'm going to start
Okay, I'll
getting
be
ready for the
tasting
next
here.
one.
Okay, this is lovely, I'm sure. Oh, yum. I'll
quite
have
yummy.
one of those northern storms.
It's a little bit spicy from that ginger.
That's delicious.
Yeah.
I like that better than the morning drink.
There
this
you go.
Is new. Right.
So
I don't know if I like it better, but
I wanted
Has a
to
little
show
health.
how we could utilize some of the same ingredients for a variety of different drinks. So that common vein between the first two, the ginger, right? The
Right.
ginger that was in with the mandarins, etc. That same ginger syrup we've used in the Northern Storm with the whiskey.
great.
Now this
and you
whiskey,
can keep this for how long, sir?
this indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
I
Okay.
haven't seen a batch go bad. I go through it quite fast, but I've had some in my fridge that's lasted 6-7 weeks.
Fun.
Before I've finished it. Now, this last drink is
Great.
basically a take on a Manhattan. I'm calling it the Winter Manhattan because I'm using that spiced whiskey and then building the Manhattan exactly as I normally would.
A classic
right? So
cocktail.
a couple of ounces of spiced whiskey.
Right.
Now, normally I'd keep my martini
use
glasses in the
regular
refrigerator or the freezer. You could, but it wouldn't be a Winter Manhattan at that point.
All right.
What makes it wintry is the spices.
Gotcha.
Right?
Imagine after skiing.
Very good. Very good
Coming
timing
in.
for that one. Now,
Yes.
normally I'd keep these in the refrigerator or the freezer to keep them icy cold so that when you put the drink
Exactly.
into it, but because in the studio we don't have one directly
Not yet.
behind us, then we're going to pretend that this is already pre-chilled.
Oh, let's.
Okay.
My fridge is full of those.
So-
Pre-chilled and one pizza box. That's it.
I've done 2
Glasses
ounces
and a
of the
pizza
spiced
box.
whiskey, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, and there's a variety out there. I like Via. It's a very cinnamon sort of spicy forward sweet vermouth. I put in 2
called
dashes
Via?
of Angostura bitters.
Okay.
And let's take a little bit of this jus from these cherries. Now, these cherries have not been cured with caustic chemicals like those bright red ones
Oh,
that
the
you find.
maraschinos?
Yeah,
Ew,
which
I
are
don't
technically
like
not
those.
even a proper maraschino because they're not even the right variety
Really?
of
And
cherry.
they taste terrible. They're too sweet, and they have red dye, something bad
It's terrible.
Okay,
so
so
we've
that's
added
a
in a touch of that cherry,
real cherry.
a little bit of Angostura bitters, 2 ounces of whiskey, and a little bit of that sweet vermouth. Now we're going to give it a stir to chill. I like the gold thing. That's why I'm having the gold spoon along
I
with the
bet
gold
when you
shaker.
compete, you use that to match this and all of
I
that.
do.
The solid gold
I
stirrer
do.
with the solid gold martini shaker. Is that called? Yeah, martini shaker for all.
It is.
purposes.
It's technically called a cobbler shaker.
A cobbler shaker. Okay then. How do
Now-
you know that's good or not? What are you testing?
Because I've tasted thousands of them.
Oh, good. Great.
Now, there's one last little thing that I want to do to this before we drink it. I want to take a little slice of orange and watch this, Fanny. You might not be able to see it on television, but Fanny, you'll be able to see it. A little spray from that orange zest that just went on the surface.
Really?
Right?
So you just kind of
Absolutely.
squidged the peel.
Exactly.
You did not touch the rim.
Exactly. Now, if you give it a little bit of a smell on there, you'll smell that orange there, and then please go ahead and have a sip.
I wish the glass was chilled.
But we're imagining, for
Yes.
the purpose of this program, that glass has been pre-chilled.
Oh, that's topping up this one.
So one got a little bit better than the
Whoa.
other.
I
And
might
these
have
are
to
all
have
in
a nap.
progression. You know, the gingerly's great because it's fresh and bright.
This
The
is
Northern
beautiful.
Storm's a little bit spicier. The booze comes forward
And
a
it's
little bit
so
more.
beautiful at
and then this one,
Christmas?
it's one to finish off.
No kidding. It's beautiful at Christmas,
Absolutely.
isn't it? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy
and
holidays.
everybody can
Season
come by
greetings.
West and get all 3 of these drinks at any time.
Why not? Not free.
No.
But, you know,
Absolutely.
it's a mighty fine drink you make. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Always a pleasure. David Wolowidnyk from West Restaurant on South Granville.